Okay, so we'll, 6:30, we'll call a special select board meeting to order. Additions and additions or deletions to the agenda this evening. I don't have any, if nobody else has any. All right, so, we'll start with public comment, if there's anything that's not already on the agenda this evening. Any public comment? No public. Hearing none, we'll move directly into the first item this evening, which is to review the bids and select a contractor for the demolition of buyout properties 139 Vermont 109 and 2903 Vermont Route 50. So I think Eric sent it out, and if not, there's a handout in front of all of you, I believe. Looks like we got 16 bids. Eric checked, every one of these bidders was at the mandatory pre-bid. Sorry, guess I'm doing my nose. So the way the bid with the proposal was set up was that we could essentially do the best value for the town, which is we could award the projects individually if the two added together are most economical, or award them individually, separately to different companies if that is the more economical version. Based on the bids that we received, it's actually C. Griffin Properties LLC was the apparent low bidder with a low bid at 2903 Vermont Route 15, $21,931.00. And on the 139 Vermont 109, they were $24,587.50. Now, I've been doing this for 16 years in this area, and I've never heard of this company before. Eric did some research. I tried to do a little research here at the last minute. I'm still not familiar with them. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know 11 of the 16 bidders. I've heard of 4 of the others. I don't know personally. And I've never heard of this one at all. So, not really knowing, they're not having a comfortability. I mean, it seems like they had all the right paperwork. They've got insurance. They're registered with the Secretary of State. So they are a business. Depending on what you all think, my thoughts were to ask for some references and then maybe some example projects that they've done recently. And we can either vote to award it to them based on hearing back some references and getting good, clean examples and references, and go with that way. We didn't ask in the proposal, right, Eric, that said you had to submit, example projects or qualifications of any kind, right? So, I think unless we see some glaring issue with it, we don't necessarily have to go with the low bidder here, but we'd have to have some good reason not to. I guess is how I would put that.
Well, like we've never heard of them is a good reason.
I do have this proposal here, which is.
Can I ask you 2 questions? Can you tell me the 11 you know?
Yeah.
Or, and by you, when you say you've had some dealing with them.
Well, I work in this field, so I bid against most of these people, and I used to work for one of them.
Yeah.
So, Cutting Edge, I bid against them all the time. I don't know them personally, but they are a company we compete with all the time.
Yeah.
GW Tatro obviously is right here.
Yep.
Hollow Excavation, this is Hunter Lock in Waterville.
Okay.
Jesse LeBrecq, I think is how you say his name.
Yep.
He demolished the house last year, 2 years ago. for us in this town.
And we were happy with his work?
Excellent work.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
EEC, gentleman by the name of Clovis lives in Belvedere.
Belvedere, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, know him, Blue Mountain Trucking and Excavating, they're out of like Rygate. I bid against them all the time.
Okay.
I don't really know them. Summit, I don't know them.
Okay,
Griffin, don't know them.
Yep.
Complete Demolition, these guys did the abatement work, the asbestos abatement, I think they're out of Fair.
Is he a Fairfax? Fairfax, okay, yeah.
I don't know them personally, other than they just did that project here.
They did a lot of demo work. I talked to. I talked to them, during the abatement process, and he was telling me he's. Been doing a lot of demolition.
and we were happy with his work too.
Yeah, that was a little bit more specialized, like you gotta be certified to abate asbestos.
Yep.
DCS, he's right here in town, Ron DeRoche, Jeffersonville, or Cambridge Company. Good Hughes, Enosburg, I know them. Panache, Morrisville, I know them.
Mhm.
I don't know Hogan, although I feel like I've bid against him. Lara Revis, never heard of them.
Mm-hmm.
Saint Hilaire, I've bid against them, but I don't know them. And GM Bowen, same thing. I've bid against them. I don't really know him. I feel like he's from central or almost even southern Vermont.
All right.
So, I mean, honestly, to get 16 bids is incredible.
Right,
Yeah.
We're seeing like 2 or 3 or 4 sometimes.
Sure.
You know, there's a lot, but
Yeah.
my second question is, just looking at the numbers. The majority of these bidders put Route 15 at a lower bid than Route 109. Except 4 of them did it the opposite. And that I find curious.
General 109 has a lot more work. So I'm not certain why 109 would be priced lower either.
Okay,
But however, their bidder looked at the project. I
Yeah.
suppose.
yeah. Or maybe access or lots of things we may not know.
Could be,
All right, and then on that cutting edge, it says add 6,500. What does that mean?
means they want $6,500 more to abandon the water. On top of the 37,600.
And all the rest of them, that was
That was
included in there.
included.
All right.
Yeah.
Because it is part of the job.
Yeah.
Okay. You,
I did speak with Cutting Edge about it and. And I had, I said to. If they had concerns about it, that'd be the cleanest way to do it.
so that bid is really 4,400. 44,100.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
so the difference really would be, so C Griffin's combined price was 46,518.50. If you package Minash and EEC together, it would be at $54,950. So it's like, yeah, $9,000 difference. Can't do math.
You definitely get what you pay for, and I think, like you said, you should see examples of the work before going with it.
So if the contractor cannot provide demolition references, if we say we're moving on to the yellow highlighted,
I would definitely say that's the backup plan.
I could care less.
I would agree.
so
But,
should I give them a timeline?
Oh, it's Griffin's bid.
You know,
It's the Griffin.
provide a like project reference within 24 hours.
I would certainly say a similar project would be the number one, and a reference for that project would be the number one. Like. Best thing,
Yeah.
best case scenario. But if they have similar, maybe if they haven't done a demolition. But they have a lot of other experiences and good customer reviews. I would say that's a close second as in preferential for experience. In my opinion.
Give them 24 hours to provide that.
I would, did you actually talk to this person today or?
I'm not anyone except for the people that came in.
Yeah. I would say, I would think 2 days would be, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah. And if they can provide some solid references and example projects, I think we go with them.
Yeah.
If not, I'm comfortable with Benosh and EDC as the fall.
Good.
802.
So,
Think he's out of the country?
no, but it's.
Maybe he's shitty? So can I just ask you, why are you motivated to do that?
Well, I don't know this. It is our money, but it isn't our money. This is an approval reimbursement thing, right? Eric?
Yes.
Yeah. So if we don't have a good reason to not go with the low bidder, there is the risk that FEMA could say, we're not paying for it, right? Or,
Yeah, it's not FEMA in this case, it's Vermont Emergency Management, but we do need to provide sufficient cause for not going for a little bit early. And we certainly have it, but not having
References?
references, and we do have you don't need to do the 40, we're doing it as a consideration to Griffin. We don't need to do that. but
Right, we're giving him a second chance.
We're giving him a second chance.
Okay,
Because when it's done, it's ours. It's all done in final. Yes, we'll be reimbursed, but.
Yeah.
We also want the finished project to be.
Well, if they don't finish the project, then
Again,
and it goes to, see, this is where a bond would come in play too. We could have asked for a bond we put up so to protect that.
Hmm.
For this size of project, it's like really that big of a deal. But, you're talking $1 million project or more, right? It is a big deal.
sure.
Or if there's risk involved,
there's 100,000,
the risk here is relatively minor, I would say, as far as demolishing a building.
so
To have
this,
appropriate documentation to show that it's disposed of properly.
just for clarification, this 2903 is the one before the bridge, just before.
By Gates' covered bridge.
The old treasures
Yes, okay.
place, but
Does that answer that question sufficiently for you, Angela?
Makes sense.
I guess. I feel like Brooke, you do get what you pay for, and I feel like I would much rather go with somebody we know is gonna finish, we know is not gonna leave us high and dry in 6 months. And then the town has to go in and finish the project, and whether we pay him or we don't pay him, there's a suit, there's like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, I just don't feel. My gut's saying it's not great to go with that bid.
So
But my gut is not always right,
Yeah.
so.
it's a little different for me because this is literally my everyday, I bid
Mhm.
jobs and the goal is to be the low bid. You don't want to be so low that,
The people don't trust you.
well, there's a term called leaving money on the table,
Mm,
which is the difference between your bid and the next highest bid. Or the next lowest bid, so. And what you don't want is you don't want to leave a bunch of money on the table because essentially it's free money as a contractor, like. All you need to be is $1 lower than the next person, it's, essentially your job. But when you're significantly lower, that is. Like, signal for an alarm as
Right.
far as that goes. The difference here is, 20% is. Anything less than 20% to me is, as a bidder, is not that big of a deal.
Mm.
If it was less than 10 or less, no issue, comfortable all day long.
Okay,
When you get more than 20%, that's when it's a little nerve wracking, when you're getting 30. Alarm bells. However, I did a slope failure in for the city of Burlington where I left 35% on the table. And, I made a killing on the job. Destroyed it, like, no issues whatsoever. Finished it early, made a bunch of money,
yep,
like, so Does that necessarily mean because I left 35% on the table that I didn't know what I was doing? No. Didn't at all.
It meant everyone else way tried to go, oh,
Or they saw risk that I didn't see.
oh,
Um,
and you didn't run into those risks.
right.
Okay,
So here, what's tricky for me when I price a demolition project is you have to literally quantify how much trash there is going in the dumpster. And there's a delivery fee for that dumpster, there's a takeaway fee for it,
sure.
and you pay by the ton to get rid of it.
Yep.
And it's trying to look at that structure. Did you guys go in it?
Mhm.
Yeah. But I don't always have that benefit to go in it, because I've seen them before where they're up to your eyeballs with like stuff inside, right?
Mm,
And you've somehow got to quantify that to fit in a dumpster and go to landfill. And that's a trick.
sure.
And I'm not actually, it's it's not that surprising that there's a big majority of people that are in the same ballpark here. So it shows that it's actually a pretty good bid range, really,
Yep,
that there's that many. But it's, a difference of if that person figures one or two less dumpsters,
Mhm.
that could be the difference.
but the difference between 59,000 and 21,000, that's significant. DCS is 59,000.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one that's 68, Summit. Right below the orange.
So I'm doing a project right now in West Lebanon, New
Oh, on the
Hampshire.
other one, yep.
I was 14.2 million and the only other bidder was 17.5 million.
And,
Well, the engineer's estimate was 15.5 million. So who's in the wrong? With two data points, it's really hard to tell, right? If you had that third data point, it might be different. But
But you're saying, what did I miss?
I don't think I missed anything. I think I had a good number. I just think the other guy was just hoggy.
right, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah. So it's really hard to tell if you're not, but again, general rule of thumb when awarding projects is it's the lowest qualified bid. And
Okay,
just by looking at that price and just because we don't know who it is, doesn't necessarily mean they're not qualified.
true, agree
So,
with that
And
comment.
that's why I think we give them the benefit of the doubt, provide some qualifications of some references. And if they check out, I don't see how we can't not go with them.
Okay. You've convinced me.
Yeah, they're not from out of state or. It's not like we don't have, I did speak to somebody that doesn't know he exists, so. He does,
We looked online, like there's a lot of mutual friends there. I've never heard of him, but doesn't mean,
Sure,
Dan spent some
And
work on
down
this.
Facebook page,
Yeah.
the business and a lot of, there's a work he's done, so.
Yeah, the
Okay.
website shows a lot of examples of the work, actually.
was there actually, I always thought it was about Facebook. Different company.
Is it?
Yep. That's who I thought it was at first.
I couldn't find a Griffin.
Yeah, it's-
Griffin and Sons.
yeah, they're in Duxbury.
Well, I thought it was the first one. That's a free bid, I thought.
all right, let me read that bit. Yeah, now I'm curious.
Anyway, I'm comfortable moving forward with Griffin and then if in 48 hours we don't have sufficient, we'll move on with the other.
With the two in yellow? Okay,
So there'd be a motion in order to award the project to C Griffin Properties LLC pending good qualified references and example projects within the next 48 hours.
And I'll put those through Cody.
What's that?
And Cody and I will review those
Yeah.
before.
And if they don't check out, then we'll go with the second bidders, which would be Monash and EEC Excavating.
So moved.
And Donna, if you're listening, sorry, is there a second?
second,
So Donna, if you're listening, the total bid price for the two properties for C Griffin Properties LLC was $46,518.50.
Do you want to include the price for
Any
your?
further dis- Well, actually, let me break it up a little differently, Donna.
Okay,
since there's two projects,
okay.
so I'm gonna spitball a ton of numbers at you. So 2903 Vermont Route 15. C Griffin was $21,931.
Mhm.
For 139 Vermont 109, 139 Vermont Route 109. He was $24,587.50. And that total is the 46,518.50. So the second place bid for 2903 Vermont Route 15 was M.A. Minash for an amount of $26,450. And then on the 139 Vermont Route 109, the second place bidder was EEC Excavating for $28,500.
Okay, can you tell me again who made and seconded that motion?
Dan made it,
Uh-huh.
Angela seconded it.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Yeah, it's almost exactly 20%. Any further discussion, Larry, I said? Okay, so all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries. Do you want me to send that email to him, or do you want to do it? Okay. You just copy me or something. If you want me to make any of those phone calls, just let me know. Okay, so there would,
Didn't know where it's gone.
there would be a motion to move into an executive session for the discussion of a legal matter. I don't exactly where you word that, but I feel like it's close enough. They have a motion.
Yes. So
Danny moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Tony seconded. All those in favor of moving into executive session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6:53. Thank you, Donna.
Good night.
Have a night.